Hi, I'm Sam from Wolf and Wing, and this is a little video about our ethos and our aims. And I wanted to just share a little story with you from my time as an art teacher, which I have written off as being a fairly disastrous time in my life. I realize now I'm a really good teacher. I am not great in classrooms and schools, and the way that the system and the frameworks work within those environments don't really suit me. But I had this really beautiful experience that I wanted to share with you, and it was not intentional. And it's only kind of now that I can really see how beautiful that time was. So I was working in an all-boys comprehensive school in London. It was a pretty tough environment. There was a lot of emphasis on, for want of a better word, toxic masculinity. Is quite macho. There were sort of hierarchies of toughness going on, and if you were a boy who didn't fit within that framework very well, then you would probably be suffering. And what happened was, and I can't even remember exactly how this started, it was really strange, but I was an art teacher, and I ended up running an informal lunch club for some of the boys who didn't fit into that kind of macho stereotyped world. I think it just started with a couple of boys just saying, can we stay and eat our lunch here too, when I was having my lunch, and I was just like, yeah. And I ended up with this group of boys, and we would be drawing and chatting and just not even really necessarily talking to each other or connecting, just being in our own little weird bubbles within this safe space of the classroom, because there are some pretty scary things happening on the playground. And looking back on it now, I can see how special that was for me as well. That sense of like an informal club of weirdos, keeping ourselves safe, being a little bit geeky, and all of the kind of other stereotypes that go along with that. Being the sensitive ones in an environment where there was a lot of pressure, not just because it was an all-boys school, but I think this happens in all schools. There are grades, aren't there? And that was one of the reasons that I just couldn't really cope there, was this sense that I had to put people into hierarchies, and I had to grade people's work. And when that's art, that's incredibly difficult to do. So yeah, there was a kind of like testosterone-y vibe from the fact that it was an all-boys school, but there was also this thing that all schools have around fitting into boxes and being graded. And for a little while of a lunchtime, this classroom was somewhere where we didn't have that hanging over us, and we could just be ourselves. And that is one of the things that I want for Wolf and Wing too, that sense of a calm, secluded, special place where there is no pressure to be anything other than who you are, and where I can kind of help hold space for us all to be ourselves in a really just gentle, nurturing, nourishing way, because I need that too. It's kind of a space I'm creating for myself as well, somewhere that I can just be fully here, and hopefully help people and teach people and share what I have to share in this magical realm that I'm creating. So yeah, there's this kind of idea that Wolf and Wing is like a portal that you step through into another world, away from the pressure. And it's not that there's nothing, it's not that it's all fluffy here and that it's all light. That's not what I'm saying. It's that you can bring the darker, harder things here as well, and know that all of you is welcome, and that you're not broken, and that those aspects of ourselves that are more challenging can be worked with in a way that's sort of healing and therapeutic and beautiful, because we're in this slightly other realm of magic and wonder and curiosity, and kind of like a nervous system reset happens here too, where we can just kind of breathe and bring out the things that we need to bring out and share. So yeah, that was just what I wanted to share in this video, is this kind of memory that I'm carrying of this space that I was able to create and hope to be creating again.